Mojave Desert. Temperatures here can soar to 130 degrees during the summer months. Averaging less than 13 inches of rain per year, life here can be quite inhospitable. And yet, in the very heart of the desert lies an oasis that not only provides water, but harnesses its power for much of the Southwest. That oasis is Hoover Dam. Situated on the Colorado River between Arizona and Nevada, it stands 726 feet high and over 1,200 feet long. At the time of its completion in 1936, Hoover Dam was one of the largest man-made structures in the world and still stands as one of the world's largest producers of hydroelectric power. While it provides the residents of the Southwest with the obvious benefits of flood control, electricity, drinking water, and recreation, no one could have predicted that it would become a major tourist attraction as well. Like the million other tourists that visit Hoover Dam every year, we couldn't pass up a visit to this engineering marvel. Our tour began at the Visitor Center with a film about the dam's rich history.
With the tunnels open and coffer dams in place, the Colorado River had no choice but to leave its riverbed and flow through the man-made corridors. With the river diverted, steam shovels dug through as much as 135 feet of silt, mud, and gravel to reach bedrock. And there, Hoover Dam began as a simple square wooden form filled with concrete, followed by more than 3 million cubic yards of concrete over the next 2 years. Add the adjoining structures, and enough concrete was placed to build a 4-foot wide sidewalk around the Earth's equator. Heat from the setting concrete was predicted to take more than 100 years to cool, but engineers fashioned 1-inch steel pipe inside each concrete block before it was poured. A refrigeration plant so massive it could produce a 1,000-ton iceberg every day continuously pumped cold water through the pipes, cooling the concrete so construction was never interrupted. This innovative idea helped the entire structure be completed in just 5 years, 2 years ahead of schedule. Hoover Dam was built with 5 million barrels of cement, 18 million pounds of structural steel, 21 million pounds of gates and valves, and 840 miles of pipe. The scale of some of the equipment was beyond the capacity of American highways and railroads. The pipes that would carry water from the reservoir to the generators were so large they could not be shipped, so a manufacturing plant was created to build them at the site. An infrastructure of highways, railroad tracks, and power lines had to be created to move men and materials from outlying areas to the dam site and to supply electricity for construction. An entire town was needed to house the workers who were pouring in from all over America in the midst of the Great Depression. The project averaged 3,500 workers a day, working 3 shifts, 7 days a week with only 2 days off a year. The pay scale started at $4 a day, a good wage in the midst of the Great Depression sweeping America. Amid the country's economic uncertainty, the workers in this canyon gave new life to the nation's spirit, as they gave new life to the desert Southwest. The U.S. Senate committee endorsed construction of Hoover Dam in 1928. Its report said, "A mighty river, now a source of destruction, is to be curbed and put to work in the interests of society." And so it was. Hoover Dam brought the desert flood control, a reliable supply of water, electrical power, and more. Behind a 726-foot-tall concrete face lies Lake Mead, America's largest man-made lake. Born out of the collected waters of the Colorado River, it could cover the entire state of Pennsylvania to the depth of 1 foot. Hoover Dam and other dams along the Colorado River contain the floodwaters spawned each spring by melting snows. And from their reservoirs flows an assured and reliable water supply for water users throughout the basin. Combined with the warm climate and rich soils of the lower Colorado River Basin, water from Lake Mead has created some of the most productive farmland in the country. Farms in Arizona, Southern California, and Mexico, irrigated by these controlled flows, produce over $1 billion worth of vegetables and fruits throughout the year for dinner tables across the nation. The clear reservoirs and controlled river stretches resulting from construction of Hoover and other dams have created year-round recreational opportunities at the National Park Service's Lake Mead Recreation Area and other locations along the Colorado River.
After the film, we boarded an elevator with our tour guide and descended 530 feet to a diversion tunnel near the base of the dam. The tunnel that we walked through was originally used as one of 4 such tunnels that diverted the mighty waters of the Colorado River around the construction site of the dam. After we made it through the tunnel, our guide used an animated display to describe a few of the engineering features of the dam.
Right here, we're inside this diversion tunnel, but we're also standing right on top of this pipe. And that is a pipe that brings in water from a lake down to generators, the one we call penstock.
This is one of the penstock pipes. Believe it or not, 90,000 gallons of water travel through this 30-foot diameter pipe every second.
Behind the dam, we have Lake Mead, but in front of them, we have Lake Mojave. They're both in Colorado. The big difference is that here on the Lake Mead side, the maximum that will be 490 feet deep. Here on the Lake Mojave side is going to be about 60. So the water will enter the 4 intake towers by gravity, but when you lower the pipes up from 30 feet down to 13 feet, that's how we get the water to speed up to 48 miles an hour. The water must hit the bottom of the shaft inside the generator where the turbine runner is at a speed of 48 miles an hour. We have to make that shaft that weighs over 100 tons to spin 180 tons a minute. When that shaft is spinning, it's also moving over 800 tons of steel.
After the tour, we explored the Visitor Center's exhibit gallery, which housed a number of visual and interactive exhibits. One such exhibit illustrated the construction of the dam through both a time-lapse video and a full-scale model. Then, it was on to the observation deck for a panoramic perspective of both the dam and the surrounding landscape, which included the nearly completed bypass bridge. Since our visit, the bridge has been completed, and through traffic is no longer allowed to drive across Hoover Dam. For that reason, our visit on that day was extra special, knowing that we would be amongst the last visitors to ever have the privilege to cross over this modern-day engineering marvel. But as we were saying goodbye to this point of interest, our next adventure laid before us, the state of Nevada and the legendary city of Las Vegas.